Hey everyone, Austin back again with another Let's Play video. Today it is going to be Tatsujin Oh, aka Truxton II. Played on the FM Towns Marty console. Truxton II is an arcade game released in Japan and the United States. However, as far as home ports go, it was only available on the FM Towns range of computers and the Marty. Which is really odd because it's a pretty cool shoot 'em up. Definitely an evolution of the toe plan formula. You can tell they were evolving the genre, evolving their style. Truxton 2 has a lot going on, much bigger sprites and characters than what you find in previous toe plan shoot 'em ups. Rapid fire always, and really big firepower options. And yeah. It's a shame it didn't get a release on any other system back in the day. Fortunately, you can emulate this in MAME if you want to play this on something other than the arcade or a FM Towns computer or Marty. And yeah, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. So, I am not terribly great at this game, like a lot of these shoot 'em ups we've been playing on the Marty. So I make no guarantees as far as to how far I get in this game. But let's cross our fingers we make it at least a couple levels in. Truxton 2 is notorious for having insanely long stages, and so these levels are just going to go on for a very long time before we actually encounter any bosses. And the levels also, if I recall correctly, the levels just sort of blend into one another without really changing over. Like, the screen doesn't go black or anything like that. I guess we're going to find out. It's been a little while since I've played this game. One of the things you kind of want to do in this game is try to pick up the same firepower option again and again. For one, your main shot, your main laser shot that's just going up the screen gets larger and larger as you do this, but your side weapon also increases in power. So the red one is pretty cool. It's pretty powerful. It's got this basically spread shot with these missiles or fire bombs that go out from the sides of your ship. And if you get up really close to enemies, what's called point blanking enemies, kind of like this, where you allow every shot to connect with the enemy, you can take out enemies really quickly with this weapon. The green power-up that you can get, which we'll probably demonstrate later, is a spread shot. It's a green spread shot. And then you've got a blue lock-on laser. It's sort of like a lock-on laser. Kind of interesting. I prefer the spread shots. They seem to do more damage, honestly. So, but I'll try to demonstrate all the firepower as we progress through the game. Pressing the B button will allow you to use your bombs, which I'm not going to demonstrate now. I'm going to save my bombs until I really need it. But basically, it's like a screen-clearing bomb. Very typical of other toe plan shmups and the original Truxton in particular. This is a sequel. And so it does have some traits from the original Truxton as well, such as like the screen-wide bombs, which is pretty cool. Do I want that? That's speed up. I'm going to go ahead and just... yeah, that's fine. Okay. I don't want to pick up any more speed up power-ups because I'm going to be too fast, and it's going to be really hard to actually dodge things as things get more chaotic. So as you can see, the levels are kind of like long and drawn out, and you can see that not much has changed so far. The background is still pretty much just this spacey background. It will change though, as you can see actually right here. Speaking of which, I think we might actually be maxed out on our firepower, but we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up a red or orange power up again if I can, just to see. And if we are, I'll try to switch over to something else for you guys, so you guys can see what the other weapons are like. That was a bomb pickup, so that's good. Now, Truxton 2 also has rank incorporated, just like most shoot-em-ups do from the time. Okay, we weren't maxed out. Cool. We've got firepower going in all directions now, which is great. I think we're getting really close to being maxed out because our laser is huge now. That's sort of an indication that we might be maxed out. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Truxton II incorporates rank. So basically, as I explained in my write-in and Flying Shark Let's Plays for the FM Towns Marty, rank is basically a difficulty level. You know, how fast the bullets go, how many enemies are coming in, things like that. And I'm not going to pick up that speed up power up. Oops, I picked it up by accident. Shoot. Okay, I'm still at a manageable speed. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're maxed out now, because I got points for picking up that power up. So if you're the kind of person that cares about score, you also want to just upgrade the same thing over and over, just so you can get maxed out as fast as possible, so you can just start picking up those point or get points for picking up your power up icons. And but yeah, so rank is basically a form of difficulty, and it goes up or down based on how well you play. It varies slightly from game to game. Some games will rank you up for picking up power-ups. Some games will rank you up for just performing well, like staying alive, and so forth. Some games will only rank you up if you pick up power-ups. So one strategy in some games is to not power up at all, to make the game easier. I guess easier is subjective in a way, because, you know, you might have less enemies on the screen, but when you have less firepower, it kind of almost balances out. So it depends on the game. Varies from game to game. So we're gonna see these bullets in this game increasing in speed quite a bit. I don't really see the rank having increased quite yet. It doesn't feel like it. But if I recall correctly, I got to a point, one of the last times I played this, I got like 2 levels in, I think, without even dying. And then, I noticed the bullets were crazy fast. And then I died, went to a checkpoint, and the bullets were slow again. So we'll see if that, if my memory stands up. If my memory holds up. Go ahead and pick up the spread shot. There you go. This is the green power up. Maybe not the best time to do that, but we've got bombs on hand, so we might end up using those. This is our first boss. Gonna go ahead and use a bomb. Glorious, glorious bombs. And I think that's it. Yep. Alright, so one boss down. As you can see, the level just keeps moving on. It doesn't really, you know, calculate your bonus or anything. And level switch. Alright, we'll go ahead and switch over to the blue power-up so you guys can see what that's like. So it's basically this like laser beam that just locks on the enemies as you get close to them. So there's not really a whole lot to explain here. As you can see, it's pretty basic stuff. The thing about Truxton II is that it's kind of an old school shooter that looks really nice. It's got some nice colorful graphics and really big sprites. You know, your firepower is pretty huge. And that's basically it. Not a whole lot else to explain. I mean, the scoring is pretty rudimentary as well. It's basically just pick up the same colored firepower if you can, get points for that, for being maxed out basically. Save as many bombs as you can for when you need them. The bombs might even be some kind of multiplier at the end of a level. I'm not sure. I haven't seen a score tally happen yet. It's actually been quite some time since I last played this game, so there's the possibility the game might actually stop and tally up how many bombs we have and things like that, but we haven't experienced it yet. We'll see if we run into something like that in this Let's Play. Now, one of the only issues with this game, especially with what I'm playing it on right now, I'm sending my FM Towns Marty through S-Video to my XRGB Mini FrameMeister, and the FM Towns Marty doesn't use, or I should say the FM Towns line of devices, not just the Marty. A lot of the games don't use standardized resolutions that you would get with your normal retro game consoles from the time. And so the FrameMeister seems to have a hard time upscaling it properly to where it looks nice. Like, it really doesn't look that good on my LCD screen that I'm upscaling it to right now. And I can still see, when I look closely, the interlacing and so forth, which the FrameMeister seems to be having a hard time with. And this game also, in this current resolution mode, there are a variety of resolution modes you can pick from. This one doesn't actually take up the entire screen, but it is the high-res mode. So basically, if you were playing this on an actual television, it would be the best-looking mode. But upscaled on my LCD monitor, like I'm playing it on right now, it just doesn't really look that great, and it's probably going to show in the video as well. It's not going to look as good as it normally would played on my CRT, unfortunately. What I should have actually done before doing this Let's Play is attempted to mess around with the other two graphic options, or is it 3 or 4? There's a couple of graphics options. There's like high res 2, low res 2, etc., etc. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and just switch back over to the spread shot. And the low res modes might have actually worked better for upscaling than the high res mode. I'm gonna have to experiment with that a little bit before I do, say, my Splatterhouse Let's Play and any other game that takes advantage of the multiple display modes. So, like a lot of FM Towns games, Truxton actually uses a CD soundtrack. So you're gonna hear the music stop and then reload every now and then, which is basically what just happened. So now I'm kind of making the game look easy, but what happens in Truxton 2 is that when you die, you pretty much lose all your power-ups. And so it's one of those games where if you're fully powered up, it's a hell of a lot easier than it is when you're not fully powered up. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to eventually die. and I'm going to have to recover, and that's where things are going to get interesting, guys. Much like my Viewpoint Let's Play, where I pretty much just hit a brick wall because I died, and it'll probably be the same in this video as well. And it's very typical of Toe playing games as well. Easy up to a certain point, and then insanely difficult after you die. So enemies are starting to come in a good bit faster now. I noticed the bullets have picked up in speed a little bit. These green guys apparently have a way of, or not a way, but they have some destructible bullets, which is good. Always makes life a little bit easier. So those green shots they're shooting down are destructible. Just got another extra life, though. That's nice. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep sticking with the green power-up. It seems like it's doing a pretty good job of taking out these really small enemies. Alright, another boss. And we died. Because I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that thing to come out and create a wall, basically, and I just got trapped on the wrong side. See, now this is going to be a problem. We've got no power-ups, and we've got to deal with everything we just dealt with. But if you notice, the bullets are slower now. So there is that. Yeah, I'm a little too slow now. I definitely need some speed. Way too slow. Looks like that's it. Not a horribly difficult boss. I just kind of wish I was better familiar with the pattern before I got to it. That way we wouldn't have lost all our power-ups, but... Yeah, it really looks like the game just, like, blends you from one level into the next. It doesn't even, like, fade out. It doesn't say, hey, good job, here's some points. So there might not even be a bomb scoring mechanic If anybody knows for sure, post a comment below. I'm sure there's going to be a couple of experts stumbling upon this video. Oh. Can I not slam into those? That was weird. They look like ground enemies. I figured I could just fly over them unless I got hit by a projectile. At the very last second. Yeah, you know, I'm really surprised this game never got a port to another system. Arcade, FM Towns. I'm really surprised there's no Sega Saturn or PlayStation release, because the Saturn and PlayStation, they had a bunch of even older arcade shoot-'em-ups ported to them, but no Truxton II. Makes me wonder how well Truxton II actually earned back in the day, like if it was popular in Japanese arcades or not. I know it wasn't popular in North American arcades, because very few people have actually heard of this game. On the North America side of things that aren't hardcore gamers already. I know I never saw it back in the day. I always saw games like Raiden and Aero Fighters and things like that. Maybe the very rare occasional R-Type that was still lingering on by that time, the mid-90s. But yeah, I never even knew there was a second Truxton until like the, oh geez, mid-2000s, maybe 2005. I actually saw it in the arcade for the first time via a Ultracade machine. Now, an Ultracade is basically kind of like a emulation cabinet with a bunch of arcade games built in. It was one of the earliest ones to do so. Multicades are pretty common now, but Ultracade was one of the first ones that I can remember. And the quality is questionable, really, but it was how I actually experienced Truxton II for the very first time, which was pretty cool. And so ever since then, I always had an eye out on, you know, the FM Towns Marty, because I knew it came out to that. Or the FM Towns computer line, more specifically. Alright, so this is getting a little bit tricky now. Oof. Yeah, so lots of enemies now, not enough firepower to deal with them appropriately, so you just kind of gotta... you can just die like that. Or, just try to stay away from the enemies. So that's our first game over. Bit of a shame. We had a pretty smooth run up to this point, for the most part. I feel like I pretty much have to use my bombs on this part. If I was maxed out on firepower, I wouldn't have to, but... really nice bombs, though, man. They just fly all the way up the screen. They have this little beam that stretches all the way to the, all the way to both sides of the screen. Oh, I remember this boss. I think. And I think I actually missed some power-up canisters on the way up here, too. I noticed as the screen was scrolling really fast, I saw a bunch of power-up canisters on the right and left sides of the screen. Those things take so many hits. My god. Die already, please. Man, it took so many hits. It's another one of the things about this game is some enemies in this game just take a ridiculous amount of hits, especially when you're not powered up. We're gonna go ahead and just use the lock-on laser. That might help us a little bit, maybe. Oh, I have no bombs. I just tried bombing, but I have no bombs. Extra life? That was dumb. I tried picking up that power up, but slammed into some bullets instead. Oh, I'm so slow. I'm not a big fan of games that have speed up mechanics where when you die, you lose all your speed up power-ups, and it's really hard to deal with the situations at hand afterwards. I prefer shooters that have like moderate speed settings by default. Like Truxton, you're pretty slow. You're not like Gradius slow, but you're still pretty slow for what's happening on screen. And I prefer games that have a higher default speed level. Unfortunately, this has a pretty slow default speed level. What's funny is you're actually probably about the same speed as you are in Raiden, but the problem is the enemies and, you know, the bullet patterns and so forth, you need faster speed to be able to deal with them properly. You need some power-ups too, jeez. I'm guessing those homing missiles are destructible? It was hard to tell. Yeah, it looks like they are. Okay. Oh, come on! The one tiny lone enemy in the screen that is homing in on me kills me. Okay, it seems like the power-up canisters are randomized in a way. Because last time it was a speed-up power-up. But this time it was a weapon power-up. So that's good to know. So apparently these missiles explode when you destroy them, or they explode from behind you if you don't destroy them. And they shoot bullets up the screen. So as you can see, this is where the game starts getting a little tricky. As I just die over and over and over again. This is traditional tow plan for you, though, man. Like, you get to a roadblock and you just get stuck at it, basically. Alright, we're doing a little bit better now. I picked that up by accident. Yeah, you can see the rank is increasing, the bullets are getting a little bit faster. Oh, this blue shot's actually really good for this part. Huh, okay. It basically locks into those missiles. I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to it then. We're 36 minutes into this Let's Play and I've completely forgotten what level we're on. There's no indicator anywhere. It's not like, you're on level 3 or 4 or... It's like the game is just one big level, basically. Oh, I remember this part. I was having a hell of a time with this last time I got here. Oh, jeez, and of course I die. And of course I die. This is gonna be a problem. Alright, guys. Well, I think this is going to be our last continue, so let's see what we can do with this. I don't think it's terribly exciting watching me credit feed my way through the game. Honestly, like, I haven't really been talking that much in this Let's Play, and it feels really weird to be doing a Let's Play where I'm not really saying anything, but there's not really anything to say. That's the thing. It's just like, this is all very basic stuff, and I'm not experienced enough with this game to basically approach it in like a walkthrough style manner like I oftentimes do, but... And that's what's interesting about doing these Marty Let's Plays, is I'm not extremely familiar with a lot of the games I've been Let's Playing, or if I am, I'm not extremely good at them. Like in the case of Raiden, you know. But, yeah, so that said, I guess you could say I'm kind of like getting bored now. I'm just like, you know, dying over and over, not really talking much. I'm like, I guess we can end the Let's Play. You guys have seen quite a bit into Truxton II, which is pretty cool. I remember this boss being a bit of a pain. Alright, one more continue. We'll do it the same way we did with Viewpoint. I'll be like, yeah, just one more. This is our last one, and then 5 continues later. I feel like there's almost no way to avoid that. I'm trying to remember how I dealt with that before. Oh, come on! Die by, like, power-up canister. I'm trying to avoid using bombs on this part if I can, but it seems like I pretty much have to. Yeah, I think that's what I did. I think I scrolled over to one side of the screen, basically. But the crappy thing is that I have to go through this damn section over and over again. It's just so repetitive. One of my least favorite aspects of these old, like, Toaplan shmups is the start-back modes. And, you know, Japanese region shmups to begin with. Typically in North America, we just had shooters where you'd get thrown right back in. There would be no checkpoint, basically. So having to redo a section over and over again, it just gets really old to me. It gets, you know. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I did. I just... Oh, come on! I thought I could squeeze by that. And here we go. We gotta do this again for the 15th time. Yeah, so if I'd be playing by myself, this is probably where I'd throw in the towel, just because I don't want to do this section over and over again. It's boring to me. It's not engaging, basically. I just physically get bored. I'm just like, meh, I'm done. You know, time to do something more meaningful. Can I do it again? Yeah, it looks like I can. Okay. Okay, that's it. Jeez, what a pain. So what I'm going to have to do is actually look up a long play of this game, just to see how many levels there are in the game, because I have no idea how far we are into the game, how close we are to the end. From what I understand, it is a pretty long game. I think this is where I'm going to stop, too. From what I understand, it is a pretty long game. The levels are long. Everything's very drawn out in this game. So I'll have to do that, check it out, just see how far we were into the game. But yeah, that's Truxton II, guys. It's a pretty cool shoot 'em up. It's tough. It gets a little monotonous after a certain point when you start dying and you have to do the same section over and over again. But it is what it is. It's the Toll Plant era of shoot 'em ups. Very standard stuff for back then. It's not like the modern bullet hells where when you die, you just get thrown right back in and your punishment is your loss of points, basically. But still a really fun game. Definitely one of the reasons to have a Marty or a FM Towns computer around. Because aside from the arcade, it never came anywhere else. Which is still really interesting to me. I really think this should have come out to the Saturn or PlayStation in some kind of arcade hits package. Like some other games like Gun Frontier and Twin Cobra did. But hey, at least we did get it on a home console, which is cool. So, but alright guys, that's pretty much it. I apologize for not having the most exciting Let's Play in existence, but I hope you still enjoy the video regardless. Feel free to give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, doesn't really matter. Either one helps my rankings in search, and for anybody new to my channel, feel free to subscribe, and everybody else out there already subbed, thanks again for the usual support. I'll be back with another Marty Let's Play video sometime very soon, probably in a couple of days, so keep an eye out for that. And until then, take it easy.